This is a very interesting comparison, hot off the presses, just for you guys. This is Phil Heath and his Arnold Classic debut, 2007. And Rafael Brandao and his Arnold Classic debut, 2019. And food for thought, they are about the same age here. Phil Heath, I believe, was 26, maybe 27. Rafael Brandao is 26 right now. This was just last year, so around the same launching pads. And it is plain to see that our friend Rafael Brandao, the sky is the limit for this young man. And a lot of people criticize him for lack of size, but when you look at Phil Heath, the size that he was at his age, I mean, come on. We have to realize that if Brandao takes his time, he could really fill out nice and perhaps become Mr. Olympia champion someday, just like Phil Heath. He has a better midsection after all, more lats, bigger lats, I should say, and a much better clavicle, wider shoulder width. Anyway, let's jump into the mandatory shots. Brandao is taller than Phil Heath. He's about 5'11", Phil about 5'9", so a couple of inches there. Might get criticized about sizing or how I size these because Brandao looks like he has larger arms, to be honest with you. But could that be? And he even has bigger legs. And could that be? Well, you're looking at it, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Heath, he really put on the beef from 2007 on. So can Brandao put on that beef smartly? He doesn't want to get a Phil Heath stomach, so he doesn't really need to be as large. He has a much bigger frame and maybe a smaller waistline, so that is definitely could be an advantage to him. And most certainly an advantage in the front lat spread. He is fantastic in this pose, but let's be realistic. This was never an awesome pose for Phil Heath. He does have a much better set of calves, I will say, and in this shot, his legs might appear to be a little bit better too. Although, you look at Brandao's versus his waistline, those are a classical set of legs, guys. So, I still say, if Phil Heath can do it at this juncture, at this age, sure, Brandao could pull it off. This is just a couple of poses, though, and I guess we're evolving into how we are going to look at this matchup. And here is the side chest pose. Many things must be taken into consideration here. Camera angles even. They're making the lower body, I believe, look a little bit bigger for Heath. But still, at the end of the day, this is one of the few side chests that I actually would vote for here with Rafael Brandao. He has a classical stance. Of course, the judges would probably still give this one to Heath because of the glutes, the hanging hamstrings, quads. Even the midsection looks nice and diced. And the chest, of course. But if you follow me and follow my channel and my judging, you know that I do not like a split in the chest like that. I like it bowed out. But that's my personal preference. I'm sure the judges would probably give this one to Heath. Maybe. It depends. But as the nature of this judging venture goes, if Phil Heath can pull off an Olympia victory off a launching pad like this, then of course Brandao could. Now the side tricep pose, this is the opposite of the front lat spread. Hard to say really if Brandao could turn this into an Olympia winning side chest pose. Or side tricep rather, I apologize. Phil Heath, he was probably born with that side tricep. Well, I'm joking around, of course. He had to work for it, but when you think about it, he was born with that genetic trait to bring that out, much like a horse is born, little tiny stick legs. But it will grow into a full Clydesdale, you can rest assured. But anyway, not much can be told with this one. Let's have a look at the back developments. And this is a stinging blow to anybody that was hoping that Rafael Brandao would be right on par with Phil Heath in all of these shots. Front shots, debatably, yes, I believe Rafael was taking Phil Heath for the most part, but in the back developments, it's a game changer. This is the difference between a Olympia championship worthy back and perhaps a contender someday. There's nothing wrong with the condition of Brandao. He has good tight glutes, hamstrings nice and separated, calves could use a little bit more meat. And when it comes to meat thickness, that lower back of Phil Heath, we can see why he became the Olympia champion. Look at that lower back. And like I said, the calves, we failed to realize the calves were so much bigger for Phil Heath. That coupled with the lower lat insertions, little details like that. Here is the rear double bi, and don't be fooled by this rear double bicep of Phil. And I'm not a lover of Phil Heath. I'm not a fanboy, as you guys would call it. But I have to respect and appreciate all these things when I do picture comparisons. And it's not a good angle of the shot. Rafael Brandao is posing to a T. I might even have made him a little too large because he is leaning back, and I think that really takes away from the height. So I should have really made Phil a little bit larger. But having said that, guys, when you think about the detail, the actual lower lat insertions of Phil, whereas Brandao really creates his own by leaning back. And of course, Phil did adopt that, and plus with the lower lat insertions, just clearly the better back development of the two. And then there is, of course, the other side of the token, the front. And in my opinion, Brandao just has the potential to be Frank Zane of today, a modern day Frank Zane. I mean, with a waistline like this, he could really do battle with the likes of the Brandon Currys. And I guess who else would have a good ab and thigh nowadays? Not too many, few and far between. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think with those back shots, those back poses, it's going to be rough. It's going to be hard. The most muscular, now clavicle width, height, Brandao, he is beating Phil. But when you look at the thick arms of Phil Heath, he has a way of dominating this pose. But, like I said, with that clavicle width, he's a hop, skip, and a jump away from being the next Phil Heath. Well, that might be a little bit of a stretch for Brandao. Of course, I do like his physique, and I do like his chances, considering there is no Phil Heath now. So he's not going to have to beat that Phil Heath back. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I tried to keep this one more kosher, less wacky, and hope you guys enjoyed it, and expect some more wackiness and comedy in other videos, but I like to keep this one clean and neat. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hit thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.